All right, let's dive into a question that sounds, well, pretty simple on the surface. But trust me, the answer is going to completely change how you think about your own body. Okay, so it all kicks off with this. It sounds like a joke, right? If you eat a whole donut, do you eat the whole, too? It feels like a total trick question, but the answer, that's the key. It's the key to unlocking a much, much bigger mystery about ourselves. See, this question, it's not really about pastries. It's about something called ontology, which is, the fancy philosophical way of asking what it even means for something to exist. And what we find out is pretty surprising. So the philosophical take is this. Wholes aren't really things on their own. I mean, a whole only exists because there's a donut around it, right? You can think of it as just a disturbance in something else. The technical term for it is ontologically parasitic. Kind of creepy, but it just means it needs a host to exist. And just like that, we go from donuts to, well, us. If a whole is just a disturbance in matter, then what about the holes in our bodies? I mean, how many do we actually have? If you had to guess, you'd probably say 1, maybe 2. The real answer is a whole lot weirder. Okay, so to get this right, we can't just, start pointing and counting every opening we see. We've got to play by a specific set of rules, and these rules come from a really cool branch of math. First things first, we need to be clear on what kind of hole we're actually counting. Most of the holes you'd probably think of, like your pores or even your ear canals, they're what scientists call blind holes. They're just dead ends, like a room with only one door. What we're really looking for are through holes, complete tunnels that go all the way from one side to the other. Think of it like a hallway. And this means we have to put on a different hat. We're not thinking like biologists here. We need to think like topologists. And this is where it starts to get really, really cool. So what is topology? Well, sometimes it's called rubber sheet geometry, which is a great way to think about it. It's the study of shapes and what stays the same when you stretch them, twist them, or bend them all out of shape. The only rule is you can't tear or glue anything. As long as you follow that, the basic object is still the same. This is the classic example. To a topologist, a coffee cup and a donut are literally the same object. Why? Because they both have exactly one through hole. You can imagine taking a clay coffee cup, smushing down the cup part, and gently stretching out the handle until, boom, it's a donut. You never had to rip it. In math speak, they're homeomorphic. All right, so we've got our rules. We're looking for through holes, and we're thinking with our topology hats on. So now we can finally answer the big question. How many holes does a human being have? The answer is 7. Yep, not 1, not 2, 7. Topologically speaking, you are a 7-holed object. Okay, so where in the world are they? Let's do a quick count. Hole number 1, that's the main one everyone gets, the gastrointestinal tract. From your mouth all the way to the other end. That's our big central donut hole. Then you've got your 2 nostrils. Now, they might join up inside, but they start as 2 separate openings, so that's 2 more. And then, here come the shockers, your 4 tear ducts. Those tiny little openings in the corners of your eyelids, they drain right into your nasal cavity, creating 4 more distinct continuous through holes. So there you have it. You're not just a simple donut or a torus. You are officially a 7-holed torus. I mean, that's just the mathematical reality of your shape. And if you want another really bizarre but totally accurate way to picture this, think about it. You've got your main torso hole, and then these 7 tunnels branching off. So in a way, you are basically a bodysuit for a spider. Strange, but true. Okay, but this is way more than just a fun fact to freak out your friends with. This whole mathematical way of looking at our bodies, it actually points to a much deeper, more profound philosophical idea about what we even are. I mean, really think about it for a second. If our most fundamental defining characteristic is this 7-holed shape, this pattern, then maybe the you isn't the physical stuff, the atoms and cells. Maybe we are the pattern itself. We're a process that is just being hosted by all that matter. The philosopher Alan Watts had this absolutely beautiful way of putting it. He said we should think of ourselves as verbs, not nouns. The universe doesn't just contain people, the universe peoples. It's an action, and we are one of its expressions, just like an apple tree apples. And that brings us full circle, all the way back to the donut. We started out by saying a hole is this ontologically parasitic thing. It's a disturbance in a donut. Well, this perspective suggests that maybe we are also disturbances, incredibly complex, conscious, seven-holds disturbances in the very fabric of the universe. So, in the end, yeah, we can use math to count the holes in our body with incredible precision. But in doing that, we stumble upon a much bigger, much more mysterious question about the nature of our whole self. And honestly, that might just be the most fascinating puzzle of all.